Hi everyone, it's me, Andrew Kolb, and as always, this is the sound of my voice. So what we're looking at here is a screen recording of a poster to promote reading that I did for, oh no, now I've lost everything, Artists for Education, and there's a link in the description, so you can find all of their great work there. So this is a short video because most of what is happening here has been covered in other commentaries. Case in point, although I guess I will repeat some things because I often get asked about brushes. So what I'm using here is a brush from the Runny Inker pack by Kyle T. Webster, and there's also a link in the description for that too. I sometimes call them inky runners, but it is runny inkers. So this is a brush from that I'm using at a couple different, or one brush that I'm using at a couple different sizes for this. But the reason why I did, or why I want to do this commentary is for the process that I did to add texture. As you'll notice, kind of as I'm doing the scales here, there's a bit of texture to the background, and that I did organically, or I kind of did it on my own. And I'm going to go through later on and show you how I did that. We're going to take a break after I kind of finish these scales to do a kind of demo, or I'm going to do a separate example because the method of making the texture or how I do the texture in this screen recording goes a bit quickly, and it doesn't really kind of show with all that much detail what's going on. So you'll see in a bit we'll break out from this video to take a quick detour. So the general construction of this file, because it's limited color, is pretty much just 3 layers, I guess outside of the type. The background is that red color with a bit of texture on it, and then the white layer above it, and then the black layer that I'm drawing on now above that. And the reason being that I want to have a bit of interaction between the colors, so when I distress the black later on, it'll allow the white and the red to show through organically. One other point to mention is as I'm doing these kind of grass and floral details to the setting, that overlay that you see, or those 2 kind of shades of gray that you see, are different proportions for the artwork because the poster needed to be scaled to different sizes. So I wanted to make sure that none of the artwork got awkwardly cropped when it went to the different scales. So that's why I have those rectangles in place. So now that that is pretty much set, I'm going to go into this quick example of how I made the texture. So what this brush is that I'm showing it now is a simple scatter brush. So it randomly places a bunch of dots as I draw along with my stylus. And how I achieved that texture was just by applying a mask to the layer full of color. So in this example, it's a layer full of red. And then in the mask, I paint black to hide some of the color, and then I paint back in with white to kind of undo that mask. But because the scatter brush is randomly, it randomly scatters, it's not going to paint back in naturally. So instead of just having an airbrushed effect, what it does is it kind of looks like kind of aged paper or just kind of natural distressing of ink. So with that kind of in mind, that's what I'm going through and doing now to the black layer back in this poster. So I'm painting in with that scatter brush to remove some of the black, and then going back in and painting with white on the mask to show it again, or to reveal it again. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, then feel free to leave it in the comments or tweet at me. I'm Andrew Kolb on Twitter, and that's it. Thanks.